All right, we are now joined on the Soccer Hour on 810 The Spread, brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers, by San Jose Earthquakes defender Tanner Beason. Tanner, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Doing fine, thanks. Hope you are.
Dude, always loving this time of year. We got so much good sports going on. We've got MLS in its final stages. We got baseball playoffs. We got football. We got basketball right here. College football. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. Um, I just got to ask you, man. Like, you've had a lot of big games in your collegiate career. Obviously, you got a handful of championships with Stanford, so that's nothing to laugh at or sneeze at or whatever expression you want to use. But like, how much does that experience parlay into what you guys are facing right now as a team trying to qualify for the playoffs? Because 2020, your rookie season, it was all kind of weird, for lack of a better statements, and you guys qualified for the playoffs before the season came to an end. I think it was the second to last game against LAFC. So, with those experiences, how does that set you up personally for this final game coming up against Austin?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely parallels. Like you said, my first year, we qualified late on, and so I had a little bit of a taste of that sort of playoff experience and the qualification process of that toward the end of a regular season. Mm-hmm. And then, in college, been a part of a number of postseason runs. So, of course, it's a different league and a different level and all that, but the playoff component of it is there's real parallels there. Knowing that it's not win or go home yet for us, but it could be, and it could be real soon. So that kind of sort of feeling as you approach the game, and sort of atmosphere around training and around the preparation, that I think having some experience with that is helpful, because it can be a little bit nerve-wracking the first couple times around, for sure.
I would imagine that Coach Gunn got pretty good at getting you guys prepared and ready for the moment. Do you remember what it was like in your first championship run versus the final one at Stanford?
Yeah, I mean, he was certainly well prepared, really organized about all the prep work and all the things that he wanted to be harping on and looking at as we prepared each week for games, playoff games. And then I think, individually the experience was much more nerve-wracking for me the first time around than it was as I got toward the end. You focus a lot less on the kind of peripheral things and all the little stuff going on, and you're just sort of trying to concentrate on what you can control in your preparation and the things for the team. So that those sort, I think the experiences help you sort of focus and center yourself on what's important as you prepare.
Yeah, and that to me puts you in a good situation for where you guys are right now in terms of a playoff chase, because obviously you won it all multiple times at Stanford. Your rookie season, you guys were able to qualify down the stretch with a game or two to go. 2021 and 2022, you guys fell short. You're here again, and you've got this opportunity that you didn't have the last two seasons. Like, just does being in this situation make you want it that much more, having missed out the last 2 years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is why we play. We want to be in these situations. We want to have these opportunities. So we've earned the right to have the opportunity to be playing to qualify in this last week. And then it's up to us, right? It's up to us to go after it. So we certainly are excited, especially guys kind of like you said that have been in the locker room a couple of years, been on the team a couple of years, are excited about the opportunity and the situation that we have here in a couple of weeks.
What was your initial reaction, I guess, after the game in Dallas? Did you say, like, man, I wish we'd been able to get a win and punch our ticket? Or did you say, listen, it's the road, it's Major League Soccer, there's nothing easy, we were able to walk away with a point out of this?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Certainly would have a little disappointed not to have taken 3 points, because that would have been awesome to go ahead and, like you said, punch our ticket there. But that is the reality. This is a league where it is difficult to win on the road. It's not easy all across the league, and that's a good Dallas team. So a point is valuable. There's certainly real value in the point, and while we're disappointed not to take three, it's kind of like, turn the page, learn what we can from the game, and then get ourselves refocused on the next opportunity there.
Now that there is this little bit of break in the schedule with the international window right now, some of your teammates are going to be away for a little bit, but you guys also have the friendly against CD Olympia from Honduras. How hard is it with this much time till the next meaningful game? Not that this friendly against Olympia is not important, but is it hard to have to wait? Is it hard to maintain that focus just because there is that 2-week gap and it's almost, I don't know, it becomes not that it becomes unreal, but it's so far out as opposed to the week to week or sometimes 2 and 3 games in a week that you guys have been dealing with for the last little stretch here?
Yeah, it's, I think we'd like to play this weekend, and have that opportunity to really to go after it this weekend and kind of punch our ticket. But that's the way the schedule is working. And so I think it's important to sort of just take the situation for what it is. And if you start getting too amped up and intense about it right now, then you sort of almost drain yourself emotionally for the game that's in 10 or 11 days. So I think it's more about using the time to, like you said, some of our teammates won't be here for a little while, but using the time to prepare as best we can. And this week, that's going to be different than what it'll be next week because we've got the friendly this Saturday. So just taking advantage of each day to get ourselves recovered and charged up to prepare really well for next Saturday.
How do you feel about your game at this next stage of your career? Because we've watched you come in and, just get better and better with each passing year, but I'm sure you are a much more harsh judge of your own game than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly want to be, my own toughest critic, try to be that way. And I think that's the best way to get better. And that's still my goal, to just keep chipping away at my game and keep improving. And I feel like I've done that so far since I've arrived here in San Jose. And then, I hope to continue to do that. But then my current goal, my immediate goal is just to help the team in whatever way possible to get into the playoffs and really attack that opportunity that hopefully we earn because I think we have a good group to do that.
Now, obviously, I don't want the referees to pay any attention to you, but my take on watching Tanner Beason in a game is that once attackers get a taste of you, they don't want to go down there again, and that you're not afraid to go up in the air, knock somebody down. If they kind of come into your territory, you were physical in college. I'll say you're much more physical now. I like that. I think that's important to establish that as your space, and guys can't come in there and invade, especially in the air. I think that's where you're at your best. But is that something you take pride in? Like you might want to come in here and bang down with us, but it's going to hurt on the way out.
Yeah, I think you always want to make it difficult. There's a lot of really, really talented attacking players, really potent attacking players that, if given time and space, and if they feel comfortable, they'll make you pay for it. That's something you learn quickly. So I think it's all about establishing what it's going to be like in our defensive third and trying to be proactive and physical and make, like you said, make your presence felt. Not only so that they're aware of the pressure, but also to sort of deter future interactions and just make the job hard. My job is to make it difficult on attacking players, create like extra passes, slow the game down, not let them have their first choice pass or shot. And so yeah, you want to make sure your presence is felt and make it difficult on some really really talented attacking players that are in this league.
This year, you've been as part of a center back pairing. There's been games where you guys have done kind of a 3-5-2, where you've been one of three. There's games where you've come off the bench. You know, the fact that it's always changing and you're always able to find a role out there, does that make it more challenging for you, or are you just of the mind of like, hey, whatever's asked of me, that's what I'm going to go out there and do?
Yeah, I think you have to be prepared to help the team in a variety of ways. That's the job of being a player across the season. And I think for me especially, it's maybe it's going to look different, and like you said, in a different system or formation, or just a different role on that day, whether I'm starting or helping the team off the bench.
I also left out that you have played fullback from time to time as well.
Yeah, a little bit of fullback too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so a little bit of all that, and I think I want to be someone who's versatile enough to help in different formations or in different roles for a specific game. So yeah, you certainly want to be on the field, but I think it's important to just be prepared to contribute in whichever way you're asked, because there's challenges in each role. It's not easy to come off the bench and close a game, or come off the bench as an attacking player and do well. There's challenges in both sides. So I think
Mhm.
just preparing yourself each week to just help the team.
One of the things that I really take pride in when watching the Earthquakes play is that we've got guys like you coming out of Stanford, or Jackson Ewell coming out of UCLA, or Paul Marie coming out of Florida International. And, in modern soccer, and especially Major League Soccer, the college pathway is not as clear as it once was. And actually, I do worry about the college soccer landscape because so much of the emphasis goes on the academy system today. And I think that, you can't really obviously you can put a price on getting a Stanford education very distinctly, but I mean, big picture, it's hard to put a price on that. And I think it's, really cool that we have, the three of you and other guys obviously as well that have been part of that collegiate system. But the fact that you guys are out there, because like it's not viewed the same way, whereas you are continuing to make more and more of a contribution with each passing year. Same with Paul Marie, same with Jackson Ewell. Like, to me, that shows that, you guys, that development is there, even if it's not heralded the same way that it was a generation ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think I certainly will always be an advocate for the college avenue, because that was my experience. But the landscape was really different when I was 16, 17, 18 than it is now for those guys that at that age. So different opportunities are available. I think it's cool that there are different opportunities. And some of the young guys we have are, I don't think I was ready to be doing what they're doing at 17. So I find it really impressive the way those guys come into a
I,
locker room of adults and conduct themselves and try to work at being a pro and make it that way. And but like you said, it's cool to have guys from all the different pathways. I think we have a really good variety, number of college guys and homegrown guys, and then guys from overseas. So that kind of sort of depth and variety and different kind of cultural backgrounds is really cool and makes for a fun locker room to be part of.
no, for sure. I was laughing the other day because I went, took my two boys to a high school football game here in the Bay Area to the school I went to, Northgate. And I saw this kid walk by and he looked like Nico. And I was like, it's because Nico's 18, barely 18 years old. He'd be a senior in high school right now. Or, like it just, like, does that, like, having played with these guys that were, like Cade a couple years ago, as young as he was, like, cause you said, like, you didn't know if you would have been ready at that same time of your life. Like, but do you ever wonder, like, oh, like what would be different about my life or my career if I had, had that same opportunity? Cause it doesn't work out for everybody. Like I think everyone views it as like a slam dunk that, oh, if you get into an academy system, then, the sky's the limit. But, everybody matures at different rates. I can point to a guy you used to play with pretty consistently and have to defend in practice every day, Chris Wondolowski. Took him quite a while for his career to develop, but I think it worked out all right in the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, every pathway has, like, it's not a guarantee. There's going to be different avenues within each pathway, and different rates of success. So I think it's really cool the way those guys, the younger guys in our locker room, have come in and improved and matured and continue to. And you have to sort of remind yourself, like, well, hold on, they're just that guy's just 17. And so I think that's really cool. And you want to look after those guys and of course wish the best for them, because I think we've got some really exciting talent in our locker room at that age.
What do you know now towards the end of your fourth regular season that you couldn't have imagined back when you were drafted ahead of the 2020 season?
I think you know a little more about how difficult the season is. It's a really long season, especially compared to the college season I was used to. Kind of physically, mentally draining, and the league is just so even and so tight. There's not a bad team. You've got the points table that reflects how well people have done, how many points they've obtained. But every place that you go to play is difficult to play. There's not like an easy win. And so I think that competitiveness is really cool. That parity within the league is really cool. And just how valuable wins are, 3 points are. Those kinds of lessons that stuff I maybe wasn't aware of when I first entered the league, didn't think as much about.
Yeah. Is being a professional athlete as you expected it to be, or is it different?
I think it's sort of as expected. I was at a pretty serious program in college, to where it was almost in some ways harder because I had school as well. But the athletic component of it was very professional and very serious. So in that sense, I felt really well prepared for the professional soccer world. But it's certainly different from my college experience, with sort of the locker room stuff we were just speaking about. It's not 18 to 21-year-old kids going to college. There's real cultural and ethnic and age variety and backgrounds in the locker room, and I think that element is really cool. So yeah, I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Now, final one for you. What's going to be the hardest part of waiting from now till the 21st?
Yeah, I think just the angst of wanting to play. We won't all be in the locker room together, with some guys being in different places, but you kind of just what the table looks like, and I think there's 1 or 2 games between now and then, but we're all thinking the same thing and knowing what we need to do, but we've got to hang out and wait a little while to do it. So we'll recharge batteries and prep, and we'll have Saturday as well to kind of help us prep. Hopefully see people out there on Saturday, and then we'll be attacking things straight away for the 21st.
Nice. Well, Tanner, I appreciate your time as always, man. It's a joy to watch you do your thing out there on the pitch, and I'll be bugging you soon. All right.
All right. Thanks so much.
Boom. We will end it there. Get my mouse to work.